Hello, my beautiful friends, and welcome to Tailor Made Beauty by Kris. Today is going to be kind of a mix of a makeup tutorial and a review of some makeup that I have recently acquired. Some of it is a new release and some of it is just new to me. So I've done my morning skincare routine, and if you have not already seen that video and you are interested in the best skincare for you if you are over probably 40, I'll link the video below. I have not primed my face yet. And let's just spend a second talking about primers. Why do you need, or not necessarily need, but want to use a primer? If your makeup isn't lasting as long as you would like it to, a primer can help that. If you get shiny during the day, a primer, a mattifying primer, can help with that. If you run a little dry, I tend to run a little dry in the wintertime, a moisturizing primer can help your skin. If you have texture, pores, some fine wrinkles, some primers can help with those. So those are all reasons why you may want to be using a primer. Today I have a sample of a Hydra Blur primer from Dermalogica. Not sure, it's one of these I got probably a gift with purchase or something, and this is kind of a thick primer. I did a video where I reviewed 11 primers. I'll also link that down below. Now I have fine lines on my forehead, and so that's where I'm applying some primer. Also, my nose and around my nose out to my cheeks is where I have some pores that I would like to blur, camouflage, fill. And I touch my chin. I always wear foundation up on my chin, so definitely gonna hit that. And then whatever I've got left on my fingers, I'm just patting on other parts of my face. So you may have skin that doesn't need primer, and that's fantastic. That's a step that you don't need. One thing for sure is eyeshadow primer. This is from Anastasia. Come on, focus. There we go. And this is their eye primer. Now, eyeshadow primer, I think, is a must. Especially if you have oily eyelids, it just helps your eyeshadow stay. It helps it apply. Now this Anastasia, as you can see, it's almost like whiteout. This is a really thick, opaque eye primer. And I haven't decided what I'm gonna do with the eye palette I've picked today, but it's got some bold colors. And so I just wanted to have something that would help those colors stand out. So that would be a time when you might want to use a really opaque eye primer like this Anastasia, or even use concealer. If you've got some Shape Tape, you can dot some concealer on. That is really fantastic. I really like the Too Faced Shadow Insurance. That is kind of what I use on a daily basis. When I go on vacation, it's what I take with me on vacation. All right, so now face is primed and eyes are primed. And I like to get my eye primer on when I prime my face so that it has a time to set up and dry down before I put my eyeshadow on. Today, we are going to be trying the new from NYX Born to Glow. I have this in shade 6.5 Nude. It says it's a naturally radiant foundation. I have been using this for a few days, so I'm already pretty familiar with it. It is surprisingly full coverage. That really surprised me. Also, it's been wearing really well. So the coverage, and it doesn't take much. I'm going to try to get a small amount out today, like that. That might be enough to do my whole face. And it applies nicely with fingers. Of course, look at that. I say that, and what do? I don't think I got enough. But it works in very nicely with fingers. And in fact, do you follow Wayne Goss? I'm a huge Wayne Goss fan. He does these fabulous, usually pretty short videos. He's a UK makeup artist, and I have just learned so much from watching him that I try to pass on to you where appropriate. Okay, so I just went way underboard with that, so I'm getting some more. And anyway, the video I was watching of his last night talked about applying foundation. He used Estee Lauder Double Wear, which is a full coverage foundation. Lots of people's holy grails, not my favorite. And he applied it, much like I am, with his fingers on his face. You know, one thing he mentioned, which I like, is the warmth from your fingers works with the product to really work it in, you know, around all the shapes on our face, into textures. And okay, now you see how much I have left. I really was much closer the first time. And I feel like I've got the coverage I want. Now, what Wayne would say is right at this point, go ahead and put a little bit more on. And if you think, oh my goodness, Kris, you're putting on way too much foundation, bear with me. So I would say that yes, that's more than enough. I'm going to wipe that excess off. Once again, I overshot on the foundation on this. And now, taking a damp beauty sponge. This is the makeup drop that came in the Birchbox unboxing from a few days ago. So I got this wet, squeezed it out, then squeezed it in a towel. So it is really just damp. And now, when I pounce this on my skin, what it's doing is picking up any extra foundation that didn't really get worked in. So it keeps it from being kind of too heavy. And I think I have pounced everywhere I want to pounce, and you can see that it did take up a little bit, but not a ton. And like I said, I am so impressed with the coverage on this foundation. This foundation was like $9 at Ulta, and they have, I should have looked, I apologize for not looking, but they had a lot of shades. I think I'm talking like, I don't know, maybe like 30 shades, maybe more. Anyway, it was a lot. So, way to go, NYX. Okay, what I'm gonna do now, normally I would set my foundation. You see, I didn't do concealer. I don't do concealer every day, and today is just one of those days. I'm not doing concealer. Really, it just kind of gathers in my wrinkles under my eyes, and it's not the look I'm going for today. I don't know how much fallout I'm gonna get from my eyeshadow. And I have a few eyeshadows I know, it doesn't matter how much I tap off, I get fallout. So when I think there might be fallout, or I know there's gonna be fallout, I don't set my foundation right away, because it's easier to get that eyeshadow off when, without having it work into the powder, the setting powder. It's easier if it's just the foundation. So I have my NYX eyebrow pencil here, and this is in shade 02 Taupe. And I like it because you can see it's just a nice, fine, small tip. It reminds me a lot of the Anastasia tip, but it's a lot cheaper. I think this one is $9 or $10. And I just use little strokes, and I work against the direction that the hair is growing for the inner part of my eyebrow. And then I just kind of do a thin line to the outside. And got a spoolie on the end, And now I just brush it up and then shape a little bit, okay? And you can see it just fills it in. It's just a nice frame for the face. So now I'll do this side. All right, brows are done. I think the eye primer is set. Let's get into the eyeshadow. This is the Violet Voss Essentials palette that came in this month's BoxyCharm Luxe. I haven't looked to see if it came in the regular BoxyCharm. If you get the regular BoxyCharm, can you let me know if it came in that? All right, and just in case you didn't see that, here are the colors. And it's a pretty wide palette, but as I mentioned on the unboxing, if you cover up the gold and the green, it's kind of a normal looking palette. And so I really, you know, when you've got a palette with really fun colors, and I have absolutely nothing that I'm doing today. I gotta go to the grocery store, and quite frankly, fine, I'm going to the grocery store. I can go to the grocery store with crazy makeup, or fun makeup, let's not say crazy. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start with my crease, and there's this shade Sand here, which looks like a good crease color. I'm looking for a good crease brush. So for your crease, what kind of brush? This is a fluffy, round brush. So the fluffier it is, the less product it's gonna pick up. The denser it is, the more product it will pick up. So this is kind of, I'm gonna say, medium density. And this rounded shape is really good for my crease. If you have a lot of eye area, you may want a bigger rounded brush. If you have a smaller area, you may want a smaller brush. But this one fits well for my eyes. So I'm gonna pick up, sorry, I'm gonna peel the protective cover off the, and I'm gonna pick up Sand. That just looks like a very neutral color. And using that windshield wiper motion. If you've followed my videos or any YouTube videos, you know we all like to use this wiper motion for doing the crease. And so what that is doing is distributing that eye color evenly, working it in so it's gonna stay. All right, and so you can see there what that has done. It's just given a little depth to my eye, put down a foundation for some other colors. Ooh, yep, it's kicking up a little bit. Not seeing any fallout yet, which is nice. So we're going to do the same thing over here. I did notice that Anastasia eye primer had creased a little bit. I probably should have patted that out, but I didn't. That's life. All right, and as I am often want to do, I got a little more color on one side than the other, so I'm gonna go back and build up a little bit more. Okay, there, I think that's even. All right, I know the nice thing about this palette, if you got this palette, or if you have colors like this, you may have colors like this, you can really do a very neutral look using the Sand, the Terracotta, the Cinnamon and Dusty Rose. You could certainly do kind of a, like I said, a neutral, but we've got this plum berry here, this purple, and quite simply called pink. So let's, and that emerald, gosh. Okay, let's swatch that emerald. Look at that. Okay, I will tell you that it seems to be showing up better in person than it is on the camera. Let's do a little more. Ah, there we go. Yeah, why not? Let's try it. So I am just taking my finger. This is a shimmer shade. and shimmers tend to pick up better with some source of moisture. So even the oils on your finger are great for shimmers. Also, if you want kind of a more intense look out of them, I'm going to guess if I used a wet brush, not dripping wet, but get it wet and then squeeze it out just a little bit, that is really where you get amazing color payout with shimmers. I am really liking this green shade. It's so pretty. I have a couple other green shades, and there's just something about this one that I feel is really popping with my skin. Not looking too cray-cray. Okay, debate. To do gold, I want to know what that plumberry color looks like. Okay, that's the purple here, the plumberry. Going with pinky. And I am popping that just on the inner corner. Wow. Oh, that's a really pretty color, this plumberry. And I'm not surprised here. I really like Violet Voss. I have a few of her mini palettes, which I highly recommend. I'll link those videos down below. Her pigmentation, her color payout, the blendability, I am always just really impressed with her shadows. Oh, I like that. It's just a little something. I think what I'll do, let me just look here. I'm not getting any fallout, which is really nice. I am going to take, this is a Morphe brush. And if you've watched my videos, I use this one a ton. It's squared off, it's really dense, it's a little stiff. And I'm gonna pick up that plumberry on the end, and I'm gonna do my lower lash line with that. And I don't go all the way across. I feel like, for me, my eyes are a little on the small side. And so I really just go about 2/3 of the way to give a little definition, in this case a little pop of color, but not close them down like would happen if I went all the way. And really getting it into the corner there. That's nice. Okay, let's see. I really do appreciate in this palette that there is a clear highlighting color and a black. So, because I don't have a lot of the movable part of my eye that shows, I like to use black or dark gray shadow and this super fine angle brush. This is a really thin angle brush, and I'm just working it right at the base of my lashes. Just right in there, so it's not covering over any of that really gorgeous green or purple I put down. And you can see there's just a little more definition. That's just what I'm looking for. It's just a little bit more definition there on that upper lash line. I think it helps the eyeshadow pop and is going to make my mascara look better too. All right, done that, and let's put a little highlighter. So this is a small, dense brush, little teeny tiny. It's not big fluffy. I'm going to pick up that cream color, and I'm going to go right under the arch of my brow, just to give a little lift there. Wow, that is really, really reflective. So I'm going to use my finger and just blend it in a little bit, so it's not quite such a harsh line. But wow, that is really a gorgeous highlighting shade. And then just picking up on the tip and hitting the inner corner. Just a little brightness there. Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh. You know, I don't know why I'm so surprised that I'm just tickled by this Violet Voss palette. One thing I am not loving right now, I feel like that sand is looking kind of warm and it really wasn't the look I was going for. So I am picking out, this was the brush I used for the sand. I love this, this Sephora product, this color switch. It's just a, you know, kind of a sponge kind of thing, but you can run your brush back and forth across it and it'll take out any extra eyeshadow that's in there, and then you can go ahead and pick up another color without washing your brushes, which is nice. I'm gonna pick up this Dusty Rose, just a little bit, and just go over that and see if I can't change the color a little bit. Well, I don't know if I'm making it better or making it worse. Okay, well, I don't think I changed it a whole bunch whatsoever. No big deal. Okay, so eyeshadow done. Let me try to pick up the pace a little bit here. Haven't set my face yet. I love Lancome Long Time No Shine setting powder. What's the difference between setting powder and finishing powder? Setting powder is used to set your foundation. That means it's going to help it last longer. If it's got some shine you don't want, it's probably going to knock down some shine. It's going to provide a nice canvas for everything else you're going to put on. Contour, blush, bronzer, highlighter. It just gives a really nice finished look to the makeup. Okay? And snap. I did not bring down anything for contouring today. Okay, gonna skip it. You don't have to contour. Normally I would just put a little bit in right here. I've got nothing to contour with. I do have now for blush something else that's new from Pixie. This came in a subscription box last month. This is the Peach Parfait. And I like a big, fluffy brush with some kind of medium density to it. You don't want it to be nothing there, because of course if there's nothing there, it doesn't pick up much pigment, but big and fluffy means you're not going to get a line. And so I'm literally just one swipe each side, tap it off, because I don't know, I haven't used this blush yet. And okay, this blush is going to need a little bit more, but it's also nicer to build rather than go in with too much. Okay, hit the apple of my cheek and then work it out to the hairline. That's nice. Do the same on the other side. Oh, what a pretty glow this gives. This is really lovely color. Oh, yes, just nice and fresh. All right, I like that Pixie color. And I did bring down highlighter, at least I remembered that. This is a longtime favorite from Fenty. This is the Kilowatt in Hustler Baby. This is the mini. You know I love my minis. And honest, oh goodness. Oh, I have a little breakage here. But I watched a YouTube video and I know I can repress that. Not this minute, but I will. This is it's a small rounded brush. It's like an overgrown crease brush, right? And it's, oh, sorry, there goes a lot of powder in that. Medium density. I'm picking up the highlighter and now I'm just going right on the top of where I applied my blush. Oh, yep, this does give a nice shine. Do this side and then maybe, although I say this blush is pretty glowy in itself. All right, are all my powders done? All my powders are done because I forgot contour. So I am going to use the Tarte Stay Spray from the Tarte Double Duty line as my setting spray today. Oh, this has a really super fine mist. That's kind of nice. Ooh, there's kind of a florally fragrance to it. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry, and I am going to do my mascara, and I'll be right back. All right, I am back after having done my mascara. I used my Surratt eyelash curler. I used my holy grail that just fell on the floor, the Estee Lauder, a little black primer to prime my lashes. And today I had a sample of the Clarins Wonder Perfect 4D mascara, which looks nice. My gardener is out there with leaf blower, so let me try to hurry and finish this up. I think today for lips, I'm going to try this that I just picked up, NYX Candy Stick. It's one of those with an opaque container, so I don't know exactly what color this Jawbreaker is going to be, but let's find out. Okay, this is an opaque color. I should have looked. This might be a liquid lipstick. Let's see, what does it say? Glowy lip color. Doesn't say liquid lipstick. I think it's just a very pigmented lip gloss. Okay, that is a bold color. Okay, there is nothing shy about my makeup today. It'll be fun to go to the grocery store. Oops, can you believe I forgot to do finishing powder? Okay, finishing powder is what we put on at the finish. Again, it just provides a nice, smooth look, blends in the rest of the powders on your face. If you felt like maybe you were a little heavy-handed with your blush, a finishing powder can help tamp that down. Okay, there we go. That's our final look. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me. I hope you learned something or at least had a good time. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you're not one of my fabulous subscribers, go ahead and subscribe. I post every Monday and Thursday. Thank you so much for joining with me and have a really great day.